started.
It's the RIOT Podcast.
Welcome to the RIOT Podcast. We still have plans this week. We'll be in the studio, so.
Yeah, I mean, I included the break in there, but essentially Nikki and I are essential.
Isn't that funny?
But we are going to, like, as long as we can. And even if, it really just comes down to if one of us gets sick.
Mm-hmm.
And to be completely honest, Nikki, even if you were sick, I'd probably still come in. And
yeah, you'd still be fine.
Yeah, so
we're good for this week. Should be fine with Pocket. Now that we've said that, you know.
I know, right?
Like, we should have never said anything.
Never should have said it. But people have been asking.
Yeah.
And so, yes, we're essential personnel according to the Homeland Security documents that most states are doing.
But it's like, it's difficult because in our area, stay-at-home starts after this podcast.
Yeah, today.
But there's so many essential personnel that I'm very curious to see how will it look outside when we're driving in. But we just plan to do the show and then, isolate after that. Every
one of my, I don't know anybody who's, well, that's not true. Okay, so my uncle, he works a desk job at whatever. His office, today's their last day that's going to be open.
Yeah, now they're doing it. Mm-hmm.
One of my roommates works in education. They have been home for a week. Trying to think.
It really depends on what line of work you're in.
It really does. But like almost basically every other friend I have, everybody's working.
Mm-hmm.
So
whether it by home or out.
Yeah, like the shutdown thing. So but Nikki and I are here in the podcast today. We talk about Iron Man 3. Buying Mountain Dew.
Iron Man 3 versus Thor 2.
Thor 2. And how that shouldn't even be a discussion right now.
But it was.
Yeah. Let's see. Germany's way to beat the coronavirus. Carl's Jr., Best Buy and GameStop, Canada, Amazon, toilet paper. I mean, honestly, I think it's the same thing we keep talking about every day. It's just updates.
And isn't that nice to have consistency during these troubling times of you at least get to hear the normal stuff?
Hey, you know what? Keep the chit chat coming. You guys should totally text us or email us or say what's up. I'm trying to make plenty of time in the show to just talk back. So
include your text messages?
Yeah, so whatever you want to do, we want to hear from you. And you know what? If you're out there, especially if you're, you know what? The truth of the matter is I'm praying for all of you. Some of you got to stay home. That's not easy. Some of you have to go to work. That's not easy either. So a lot of people just having a tough time in general. So you know what? Fist bump. Well,
feet bump.
No. Wave.
Wave. From a good distance.
And keep at it.
You can text us. Don't forget, 877-2-RADIO-U. Include your name and that you're a podcast listener, especially if you find a fun story that you would like us to talk about. Just send the link and we'll try to cover it in the show.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to now.
Yeah, it's time to get the Lysol out.
Whee!
Disinfect.
Everywhere.
See, I take mine off and spray it.
I know, but then you guys wouldn't have been able to be a part of it. It's on my hand.
It's fine, though.
No problem. Thanks for listening today.
Bye.
The Riot. They're kind of a big deal.
Hey, can we do that again? Maybe a little more energy?
No. RadioU.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, happy Monday, everybody.
How you doing?
Yeah, how was the weekend? Good. That was good.
How was your weekend?
Pretty good. I mean, I have gone through everything, cleaned out everything, washed everything. I feel like I'm going into this week needing some projects of some sorts.
You know what? It's funny that you mentioned that. Do you know where I ended up yesterday?
Where'd you go?
Yesterday afternoon, I ended up at Home Depot.
Was it crowded?
Yeah, way more than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
And it was just, okay, so I live in Ohio. Everyone that I knew, the open secret was they're about to order shelter in place. They're about to order shelter in place. Yeah, like a stay. Yeah, they didn't actually use that word. They said stay at home. And so everybody I knew was like, I know a guy that knows a guy.
Who said it's coming?
They said this was coming. And
even though everybody's been trying to stay at home anyways.
Right. And so, I don't know. One of my roommates was like, we should something. And I was like, you know what, dude, if you want to go, I'll go with you. Let's get a Home Depot. And so we did. And it wasn't a madhouse, but there was a ton of people in there.
Yeah, I think everybody's grabbing stuff just before.
Basically looking for something to do. And so we grabbed some paint. And you could tell the guy working the paint counter was just like, just get me out. he had
done with.
I'll bet that guy had mixed more paint yesterday than he has in like a month.
Probably.
So many people just waiting, trying to do the, social distancing thing and failing at it miserably because the paint's more important. And,
just a good weekend.
It's whatever.
So whether you have paint or whatever project might be your thing.
Yeah. So not everybody in the entire nation is in that position. But I will tell you, Nikki, I have at least one good story that I can throw into the mix.
Coming from the weekend or coming from taking the time at home?
Oh, yeah. No. Of people trying to get ready to be kind of shut in. And these are my kind of people. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
The Riot has now been downloaded. I hope you installed some antivirus. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
So yesterday, this couple that's kind of going after my heart and kind of not. It just, I guess, depends on which day you catch me. They are in Kentucky. They were at a Kroger, which is a grocery store there, and they were not allowed to purchase the 23 cases of Mountain Dew that they wanted to buy.
Oh, but what an inspiration. How come you can't buy that many? Maybe there's just a blanket, you can't bulk buy or something?
That's what I thought. I don't know what exactly their policy is in regards to it, but they told them, guys, you can't buy all this.
Well, I think if you do, you have to call ahead and order it specialty. So then that way there's still Mountain Dew for everybody else. Wow. That's a lot of Mountain Dew. At least I think it is. It's
a little bit much. But I mean, there's video of this guy screaming at the clerk.
Guy who wanted to buy it all.
Yeah, because it's 552 cans of Mountain Dew. But now Mountain Dew fans, don't take this the wrong way, but that feels right.
It just seems like, okay, sure, I could believe that.
Everything about this feels right. The people that are I need to make sure I have enough no matter what. The physical violence that followed.
The screaming.
And if you look at the photo, the physical consequences of drinking that much Mountain Dew.
Oh, really?
There's just a lot.
Is it a diet Mountain Dew or is it regular?
It's not a diet Mountain Dew.
Oh, that's a lot of sugar, guys.
There's a lot.
I know we're stress eating and stress drinking, but it doesn't mean we've gone to regular soda.
So it's a thing.
I think you're supposed to go to your local Mountain Dew distillery or,
whatever.
What's the
distributor?
Word? Yeah, distributor, to where you can just buy that much on your own. And again, you're not taking away the entire grocery store's product for it.
Yeah. Well, I was talking to my uncle. He also went to a Kroger yesterday, and he said that he had a couple in front of him that was trying to buy 12 gallons of milk.
Yeah. Is that the limit? Or is that over the limit?
It must be over the limit because they wouldn't let them.
Oh.
And so he said that turned into a big, you're just trying to keep me. Yeah. And they were they made it into a race thing. You don't want me to have this because...
Ooh, don't do that.
And the manager was just not having it. No, there's a sign. Well, it doesn't have to do with anything.
I know milk freezes, but it doesn't mean you should.
Didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know that. I actually was just what? What are you going to do with all that milk?
Well, I saw a funny tweet from someone. It was trending for people who have large families, who it looks like you're hoarding food anyways.
That's just how much you buy.
But that's just how much you actually need. That's a normal amount. And they were saying, well, normally you would take all your family with you to go to the store so people could tell, but you're supposed to social distance at this point, so you're not allowed to. So it just looks like you are taking all this stuff and people would give them mean looks.
Here's a photo of my family.
I know. It's I have this many people in my family. We need the 12 milks.
I understand people getting upset and whatever, but bottom line is the food supply is still, everything's fine. Mm-hmm. It actually is. It's still rolling. You don't have to... you don't have to buy 552 cans of Mountain Dew just in case.
And even if you're at a stay-at-home for your area, you can still go to
the grocery store.
Still go to the grocery store. I don't think people... Well, maybe they just wanted just get it all.
And maybe for them, that's just their normal pickup.
Maybe that's the relatives of the Mountain Dew people, and they're just going at it.
Could be.
But you're not supposed to then start screaming and yelling at everybody.
Just take it easy.
Just
let it go.
Follow the grocery store rules.
Just let it go.
A Rotten Tomatoes score so high, they refuse to make it public. The Riot on Radio U.
As I mentioned, when you're inside, you start, having discussions, spending a little too much time online. And I don't know if you also saw this trending over the weekend. I mean, Nikki, you and I hang out in different parts of the
internet sometimes. Well, maybe it connected and we didn't even know it.
But I see that people are arguing over whether Thor 2 or Iron Man 3 is the worst Marvel movie.
Thor 2 or Iron Man 3?
That's right. And I'm concerned about it because Iron Man 3 is a gem. That is a great movie. And a lot of people don't get it. There, I said it.
It's their fault, not the movie's fault.
That's right.
I was wondering if you were going to just come out and say that.
It's written by Shane Black. It's directed by Shane Black. There are great performances in that movie. It is a great... that is a great movie. Now, I'll give you Thor 2. It struggled, all right? It did. It's a good-looking movie.
Which one was Thor 2? I think that's the one I don't think I've seen.
Thor 2 is the one where Natalie Portman goes to Asgard with him.
No,
to meet his mom.
I missed that one.
That's a good movie. It's not the best.
Sure.
But it's pretty good.
Well, it was Ragnarok, so.
No, that's 3.
Yes, 3. That's the amazing one.
That's the one that everybody loves. And even the first one I thought was pretty good.
But 2's the middle one.
2's the one that a lot of people say is just this terrible movie. I disagree. But man,
is that just the trending voting thing over the weekend?
Yeah, everybody's arguing about it. Don't you talk smack about Iron Man 3.
I only saw the Thor 2 part trending, and I wondered why. But I didn't see it based off of the Iron Man one.
Listen, if you want to talk about worst Marvel movie, let's talk about Ant-Man.
I thought you liked that one.
No, I didn't. The second one I thought was okay. The first one I was just like, man, this is just the worst.
Well, throw your couple of cents in there.
I should.
Get on in there and get voting.
Come on. Let's argue on the internet together. All of us. Let's all get out there on the internet and argue, guys.
Well, maybe you can open it up. Did anybody have any worse Marvel movies that you want to throw in the mix?
You guys are welcome to. You can tweet it at us, or if you just want to text, we're here. But I'm just telling you right now, this nonsense that Iron Man 3 is not a good movie.
Jen was saying how Iron Man 3 is one of her favorites. So thank you, Jen, for texting. You're in on that one.
It's so good. And, hey, everybody, it happens at Christmas.
So that's even better?
Yeah. I mean, it's a Christmas movie, Nikki.
It's practically Christmas.
It is.
So that's why that was trending.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Everybody else, man, see, that's it. Like over the weekend, they had that Hallmark Christmas marathon. We should have built our Christmas marathon. You get some Die Hard, you get some Iron Man 3. It's mostly going to end up being Shane Black movies because
honestly,
his movies are always set at Christmas.
They're set at Christmas time, so I think that seems to be a trend.
We'll work it out.
So maybe later this morning we should talk more about the Prime in theater, now in your home movie setup from the past weekend.
Are you talking about Amazon Cinema Hub?
Yeah, maybe later we should talk about that.
You know what? I'm here all day. Let's just go right ahead.
Not the whole day. We're here during the show.
Long enough.
It's going to feel like the whole day.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You're welcome to text us or say hello at RadioU Riot on our Facebook page.
Lots of people are texting this morning. Jen wants to know, hey, Obi, what are you doing for exercise? I'm struggling with exercise, and I need it for my mental health. That's a great question. I have been running outside some days. I was very busy last week, and so there were a couple days I didn't do it at all. And then yesterday I got up. I have a couple of 25-pound dumbbells, not very heavy, but better than nothing.
Sure.
And so I just went through a series of I did push-ups and squats and squat to press and curls and overhead press, like just anything I could think of to do with those dumbbells, and just targeted different muscle groups. And I have Abe Lincoln's elliptical.
You always call it that. He's got a really old elliptical. It's not that old.
It belongs in a museum, but I still own it. And so I've been doing that.
It still works, and it's fine.
And getting on that. And so those have been kind of my go-tos. I really do miss going to the gym.
Yeah. But I've seen so many people outside just walking.
Yes.
With the appropriate distance between them.
Yeah.
But definitely a lot of people have been at least trying to get some exercise that way.
Yeah, so that's been kind of my go-to. There's other people sounding off this morning. Aaron says, I can go back anytime and watch every single Marvel movie and be completely satisfied. We don't need to have this conversation.
He was talking about how over this past weekend it was trending was Iron Man 3 or Thor 2, which one was the worst out of both of them, and they were saying they were both so bad.
Right. Then we talked about building our own Christmas marathon. JC says Hallmark was my Christmas marathon.
I wonder how many people watched over the weekend.
There's got to be numbers somewhere, right?
Hallmark had like a Christmas movie marathon because it was popular going into the weekend for certain areas to help build morale to like put your Christmas decorations back up or turn them on. But I didn't see any in our neighborhood.
Aaron just texted, I ordered an elliptical on Amazon 2 days ago.
Hey,
there you go.
That works.
Ooh, Jeff cut down a tree yesterday. Yard work is great exercise. There you go.
It's a good idea, too.
Do you guys, anybody have a tree to cut down? I don't, but.
Well, Jeff can come over. I think that's what I'm getting. He's got the tools that he can come do it.
Yeah. So go get him, Jeff.
You're not interested in that one.
No, I don't want to do that.
You'd rather use the old elliptical.
Yeah.
Wow. Not only are you already awake, but you're listening to The Riot? Your day is off to a pretty rough start. The Riot on Radio U.
Earlier, we had a couple people texting in talking about, like, what are you doing for your mental health, like for your physical health while you're isolating? And here we have the story of a man who ran a marathon in isolation.
I really love the nice stories like this that come out of all this stuff.
Some of what you guys are doing is amazing.
We're just watching or making TikToks. On the other hand, on the other side, this guy did something pretty big.
So Elisha, he's 32. He's from Balma, France. He has 23 feet on his balcony. So he went ahead and ran a marathon in that 23 feet.
He took the internet by storm because basically it was starting to trend in his area because people could see this guy just running back and forth on his balcony. And what was he doing?
It took 6 hours and 48 minutes for him to complete his marathon. He ran a marathon on his balcony.
His feelings towards it was he was trying to de-dramatize the confinement situation. I think where some people believe, well, you're stuck inside, you can't do anything.
Right.
When really that's being dramatic. You can actually do some stuff while you're inside, and he wanted to show that you could.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just tell you, when I think about what I want to do while I'm inside.
It's not going to be that.
It's not this.
But he was a fitness enthusiast, so that's his happy thing.
Yeah, he's into it. So I say this honestly, good for him. And if you find yourself just like, man, I can't come up with nothing to do, I'm losing it. No, you know what? You could run a marathon.
You could if you wanted to.
Right there.
He was more worried, too, that he would drive his neighbors like crazy because of the stomping, but no one complained, and he was able to complete it.
Man, you just get your headphones out. That's what I
keep going.
My roommates drive me crazy sometimes. Headphones. That's the answer.
Not roommates. Neighbors. There's a difference.
No, not necessarily.
I mean, they're going to be just as mad.
Don't you understand that roommates can be worse than neighbors because there's not even a wall separating you?
True, nothing to protect you.
That's right. Like, you could be in the kitchen and they're in the kitchen.
Well, congratulations to him. So, again, he's in France, and on his balcony, he ran a marathon, 6 hours and 48 minutes for it. He said he fought a little nausea and stuff with it, so it took him a little extra time to try to keep going.
Well, good for him, I guess. I would just like to say thanks a lot. You know, the rest of us are like, well, can't work out. Might as well enjoy it.
And he's showing us all up.
It was bad enough the first time around, but now it's worse. Don't believe us? Just keep listening. You'll find out soon enough. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So Angela says, are you guys going to be working from home starting tomorrow? She texted us at that number.
Well, in our area, the stay-at-home order starts tonight.
Yes.
So that is, for a lot of people, when they'll be staying at home officially tomorrow, but not, at least not for me. So... Well, I assumed you're not, or I didn't know if you're coming in or not. I wasn't sure. Listen,
is that even an option?
I don't think so. Like, we are technically, whether you believe it or not, we are what's deemed essential personnel, and it's a wide list.
Yeah, it is, actually.
Of what falls under this for who can be out and about. So I assumed you'd be coming in, but you live farther away than I do, so I wasn't sure.
Oh, it's not snow on the roads. I mean, you know what? Honest to goodness, like, I feel like coming in and doing the riot is like doing our part, especially for those of you that are out there providing what is actually an essential service. Because,
again, if you look at the list, we're there, and so are others.
I mean, I think I've been pretty clear that I think that when it comes to the barren wastelands, I'm pretty much going to be good as a radiation canary and almost nothing else. But that being said, I do think that, I just want to be here to help. And so if we can
are
help,
here to pass along any news that you need to hear at that time.
Yeah. And, to give you a little something to chuckle about, talk about whatever. I know that it helps a little bit to have, people that you like some familiarity to your
normalcy.
Day. Yeah. And so, unless one of us gets sick,
we should be in.
I'm planning on being here every day.
Okay. I know we have the technology available if we need to for some sort of emergency, but we'll still be in, and that should still all remain normal.
So, like, from me or from my end, it's just one of those things like, Nikki, I feel like if you or one of your family members got sick, you would need to stay home.
Yeah. And we take our temperature.
And same for me, but I'm not sick. And so, and they're like, you don't know if you're not. You know what? Nikki and I are social distancing, but we always do.
We always do. We have this normal distance between us, and we've been isolating. So basically, we just come and do the show and stuff, and then distance, and then like go home, and then you just wait and do it again.
So that's.
But I know people have been worried. You guys have been so sweet, but we're good.
Yeah, we're gonna keep at it. So as long as we can, and quite frankly, like, we've got it set up from home. So my thing is that unless I get sick, I'm going to be at home, if nothing else, pushing buttons remotely.
Did you find a thermometer, though? You really are supposed to take your temperature every day.
What?
We talked about this. You're supposed to. You're supposed to take your temperature every day.
What?
Before you come into work, and then while you're here at work, you're supposed to take your temperature.
No, I didn't find a thermometer.
The problem is,
you know what? I forgot.
All the thermometers in our area are
They're
gone.
all gone.
So I found one that I guess I had, but outside of that.
I was going to say, you mean Eric found one?
No, I found it.
Yeah.
I went this morning.
At home?
Yeah, at home in my little medicine basket in the back. I forgot I had one.
Yeah, I forgot I was supposed to do that. So it's tonight. Wait.
Set a reminder.
Here it comes.
This is how we stay safe
all
and
right.
make sure we're good to come in.
Set reminder, noon, find thermometer. Okay, there we go. That'll happen.
So Ryan was texting. He's sweet. He says, you guys provide me with an essential service of keeping me calm and happy on my way to work.
Oh, yeah,
Happy to help, Ryan.
Somebody got to be here.
Don't be grumpy.
Yeah. What?
Nothing.
No, we're good. I told you. Like, listen, real talk. I'm committed. Now, if there's no emergency, I'm out. But
while there is, we're here to help.
The Riot is well-versed on many different topics.
They're shy at first, but they're quite skilled at conversation.
This is The Riot on RadioU.
Now, I didn't dig super deep into the details, but Nikki just saw it, and so did I, and that is that Germany has banned gatherings of 2 or more.
So in here, around most of our areas for RadioU stations, I think it's about 10, right? Like, you're not really.
They've been saying like 10.
10, you're not supposed to go over. You're supposed to distance yourself no matter what, but you really shouldn't be in a gathering over 10 people.
Right.
But for this, how do you do 2 people?
I don't know.
How does that work? What if you're in a family and you have more than that?
It must be like not family. So like family can't count.
How are they to judge? No, just it's like you're like family.
You have more than 2 people in your family? What are you?
So is it when you go out? Obviously not in your home.
I guess.
What are they doing? I don't understand.
It doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. How is it possible?
I mean, I guess that just means nobody can get together at all, right? Isn't that what you're saying? Why don't you just say that? Like, you can't have more than 2 people in a...
Just make it easier to understand.
Just say nobody. No gatherings. That's tough because, well, they don't have the U.S. Constitution there, but like there are certain things in the Bill of Rights that are like, you can't do this.
So they've banned 2 people in a nationwide crackdown to obviously stop the spread of the virus.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing.
I feel like we're one number away from being illegal all the time.
Oh, where you have to just be yourself.
We ban gatherings of 1 or more. Oh my God.
So this is in public. So people will not be allowed to form groups of more than 2 in public unless they live together in the same household or the gathering is work related.
And like,
isn't that everything then? Or basically, you just can't go out and have fun at a place where 2 or more are gathered.
I mean, that's it. You know what? Just stay home. That's what they're saying. Like, just stay home. Go to work if you have to. Just stay home. That's what they're actually saying. In
Germany, they also, like we do, they have the social distancing. They have restaurants closed except for takeaway. Mm-hmm. Hairdressers, makeup and all that stuff, beauty places, tattoo parlors, that stuff all's closed too.
It's all done. Yeah. Anywhere where you were able to get close to someone
is gone, yeah.
They're shutting it down. So, I just grab your teddy bear and tell it what's wrong.
No, that's 2. No, you must sit there with nothing.
Nothing.
You cannot have anything.
Tell the air.
The 10 I understand, but the 2, when I saw that, I was like, well, what are you supposed to do? But it makes more sense if it's okay at home and if it's not, it's just when it's not your family.
You know what? Germany doesn't care. They're just like, no gatherings of any persons. All human beings are now in violation of what's happening. But that doesn't make it, you're in violation.
And they don't say what they'll do if you... don't follow the rules.
If they come and arrest you, all of a sudden they're violating because they're now 3 people there.
Yeah, go into it with that argument when they arrest you. Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I get worried about Nikki sometimes.
How come?
Because you keep looking at Carl's Jr. food news.
No.
And I feel like you're about to get sucked back in.
No.
And then you're going to be like, well, there went my weekend because I laid there with these before experienced stomach cramps.
I'm actually more fascinated because, the restaurant industry has been really hit by closures and you can go in and like pick up delivery or go through drive-through. So I assume fast food places will be okay.
Yeah.
But I was more interested in, traditionally we get a lot of, food fight, taste testing items where it's like, hey, this place is doing this now and this place is doing that. I think we're going to see a lot less of that until the restaurant industry goes back to normal.
Sure.
So I was surprised at this one that they're highlighting its delivery on it.
Listen, Carl's Jr., they're not done. Like, they're just going to keep on going, Nikki.
They don't mind.
They're going to keep on going.
And Carl's Jr. is also, it's the same as Hardee's.
Yeah. So here's what they say. They've got a new spicy Western bacon cheeseburger, and they'll deliver.
So this will be, though, in California.
Oh, it looks awful.
Spicy Western bacon cheeseburger.
It looks awful. It's
well, they say thank you, first off. They're so excited.
I am just some real talk, guys. Pepper jack cheese, caliente jalapenos. And then you've got, of course, a burger, crispy strips of bacon, tangy barbecue, and some plump onion rings.
Plump ones?
Plump ones,
That's
Nikki.
That's worse. He hates onions.
Oh, I do. So what do you think?
I don't think it's a style that I would want to go for.
Mm-hmm.
But, so basically through Postmates and Uber Eats, they're offering free delivery through a code to try it.
Yeah. Well, what do you think?
I've gotten sick every time I've eaten at Carl's Jr.
And yet you keep going back.
Well, Hardee's, and I've just been disappointed in the quality and all that stuff. So, hey, that's what I sounded like as I was getting sick. Remember when I was on the beach and I was tempted to go into the water and throw up because I didn't want people to hear me? Because it was so bad. It was like food poisoning. It was awful. So I'm going to say no on that just because that seems like a harsh flavor palette to get sick on.
There's part of me that's like, oh, that's awful. But, man, you know what? Here's something you need to think about. People are throwing up in the ocean all the time. That's one of the best things that's happening in the ocean.
It's not a problem.
So, wish you would have done it, and I wish I would have been there.
Well, I didn't want to because it was
I'll be right back.
it was the family area where everybody was having parties, and I don't think it could have been quiet, and I just can't do that. People would have looked.
No, you just dig a little hole, and then whoop, you just put the sand back on it.
They would just assume I would have been out drinking, and that was the effects of it. It was like, no, it's Carl's Jr.
Be like,
then they go, I see.
CJ. It's even worse.
It's even worse.
It's even worse.
But I was just curious, what would restaurants be doing to try to introduce new products during this time? Will they still try to do it, or will it just wait until everything returns to normal? And Carl's Jr. is doing it this way.
The answer is yes, they're trying to bring you back, Nikki.
No.
Carl hearts Nikki.
No, thank you.
In case you're wondering, yes, we do get complaints.
They have gone too far. This time, they are going to be held accountable.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Friday night, I tried to go to Best Buy. I was actually helping some people get their live stream together for Sundays. And I was like, I need this. I just need this adapter. I looked it up. I'm like, Best Buy has it. It's like a 20-minute drive. I don't want to make this drive, but you know what? Whatever. It was about 10 till 6. And so I hopped in my car, drove to Best Buy, and got there to see the steel shutters down.
Why? Oh, they closed early?
Best Buy, I don't know if this is a corporate-wide thing or just the one near my house, but they close at 6 o'clock now.
They knew you were coming. They're like, get it down now.
And they were walking out the door, and I was like, and I just rolled down my window. I was like, so you guys are closed? They're like, yeah, for the next 2 weeks, we close at 6 p.m.
Sure.
Now there's an update.
Wouldn't they just be closed, period, now?
No. They're still open, but you can do curbside pickup. So you got something that you want, you can order it from Best Buy. They will bring it out to your car, but you can't go in.
Are they going to throw it in the window? Be like, here.
Woof.
Do I have to even stop, or can I just go slowly enough by them?
You're bad. You missed it.
They won't do do they have a parking spot or something? Does that count as their curbside, or are you really just going to go the curb?
You know what? This just says curbside. Oh, dude. This is rough. How about this one? You can pull up and ask for your online order, and then if there's something else you want, you just tell the staff member what it is, and they have to run back in and get it.
Go get it? Like if you want to buy it? Oh, well, I mean, they're making it work.
I want dude, start asking for crazy stuff.
Don't abuse the system.
Like, it's yellow? Take it back. See if there's an orange one.
I need another one.
That's not going to do.
Are they going to use the, a lot of places have been using the pole with the grabby thing at the end to hand it to people?
It doesn't say.
So it's not like you can still be a distance away. You're not supposed to be too close.
I have wondered something very similar. Or maybe you just come out with a pair of gloves.
Maybe.
You're wearing gloves. You keep it at arm's length.
I got a note from my vet, and they said, you have to stay in the parking lot, and then they'll come out and get your pet, but, you can't really go in anymore.
Okay.
And then I think they'll throw you your medicine for your pet if you need it, and then you just pick it up off the ground. And I'm fine with that. I'm totally fine with that.
Sure. Okay.
Better to be safe than sorry.
And then GameStop is doing the same thing that Best Buy is. Or I guess that your vet is.
They're essential.
Wow, they're rolling that back a little bit.
Oh, are they?
Man,
Good.
If you didn't catch it, last week GameStop told their employees that they're essential employees and that they should not close even under a police order. You're supposed to hand them this letter from corporate to explain.
It won't shut the store down.
Right. Well, Nikki.
But are they going to stay open during a stay-at-home?
I don't know. Here's the part that hurts me the most for GameStop is if they do have a stay-at-home,
people aren't supposed to go there.
You just download the game you want.
I know. They don't want to shh, la, 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 la. They can't hear that.
They're terrified.
La, 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 la.
They're terrified because the first time you do that download, you'll be like, wait, it was that easy?
Dude, they're one step from making their employees just drive it to your house. So that's the only next step.
No, it's worse than that. They drive at your house, then they unplug your internet. So that way you never find out that you can buy games online.
They don't want you to realize it.
You can't. It can't be done.
It's going to be different rules for different places.
Sure.
But for most areas, you're not supposed to be going out anyways to go. That does not feel like it's under the essential category.
Well, you know what, Nick? You just need to broaden your horizons.
I don't get my groceries at GameStop, so I don't think I'll be going.
Then where do you get your energy drinks and candy?
Not from there. Do they sell that there?
Where do you get your energy soap?
Well, that's why they're
what
essential.
What about your energy shampoo?
To everybody's safety.
Energy ketchup? Energy mayonnaise?
I bet there is such a thing.
You know, Nikki, as a gamer, I got to have all the energy I can get to sit here.
You're listening to the worst of the riot. Radio U.
Listen, Olympic fever used to be something we joked about. Now nobody's laughing because Olympics, because fever, because not doing the Olympics because fever. Ladies and gentlemen, Team Canada
and Australia
and Team Australia
have pulled out.
They have backed out of the Olympics for 2020.
So Tokyo is supposed to have the Olympics this summer.
Yeah.
And it's not just a case of would things be normal by then? Would travel be normal by then? Are athletes even able to compete? I read an article about someone who was training with swimming, and there's no open pools that they can go train at during this time because they're all closed down in their area. So there's lots of things that are keeping right now a reason why they wouldn't be able to compete then.
Right. So I was looking at an article yesterday in which one of the main peeps on the Tokyo Olympics board basically said, yeah, we're going to have to postpone.
Well,
that's not an official statement.
Sure.
Not
originally
an
they
statement.
were like, no. And that was at the beginning. But things have changed enough to where if they did not postpone it, that would be quite odd.
Well, you know what's been interesting is reading on, and I feel like we hit on this a little bit last week, but one of the reasons why you have these trade shows and these events and all these stuff that are coming out and saying they're not canceling is because they are financially obligated to maintain that. And so they are literally waiting for local or state or whatever officials to issue an order that would allow them to cancel, because then they don't have to pay the enormous fees. And in many cases, they can hit their insurance policy up to pay for those kinds of things.
Which I'm not mad at because, I mean, there's a lot of money in those things. And if it gets hit too hard, it'll never come back. It just can't sustain a hit like that. But for the Olympics, they're just saying that it'll probably have to be postponed.
Man, just have them not to be whatever, have them next year.
Well, then does that change? I mean, would it be then 3 years after that? Or then does it start every 4 years with that?
It's not like... Listen,
you've
got 3 years to get ready. You'll be fine.
I think it'd be okay.
You'll be fine, okay?
But they haven't announced for sure. They're just saying that at this point, it seems like since there's been a lot of pressure from now, 2 countries that would not be coming,
right.
What would they be doing?
Well, that's what I'm thinking, is that they just postpone, just put it off a year. Big deal.
Well, it's not as simple as that, but it is easier than just letting it happen and no one going.
Listen, you guys, come on. You can do it. Just say, everybody, everything's the same. We'll see you in a year.
We'll see you in a year. Just hold tight, and we'll wait till next summer.
It's just like postponing till next weekend. There's just 52 weekends.
All right. Well, Obi said it's easy enough. No problem.
No, as someone said to me yesterday, it's just like you just throw a switch. It's no big deal.
It just happens.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny watching different parts of society crumble just a little.
where you were used to something.
Right, because it totally is that thing where I'm just like, well, I'll just get it on Amazon. And because to us, Amazon is like some unmovable, unshakable force in our life. It's Amazon is bringing what I need.
Well, I think even some of us experience it. In our area, we do a lot of Costco. And then when all this virus stuff started in Costco or some of the other big places, we're out of stuff that you normally have no problem having.
Right.
It's just weird to have to slow yourself down and go, oh, wait, this is why this isn't working right now.
So What are you trying to order that you can't get?
I was trying to reorder some. It's a hair serum, and I just desperately love it. And so this is really first world problem, and it's fine. So right. I went to reorder it, and it's out of stock. So I went to reorder a similar kind, and everything now starts showing April 21st as the shipping date. And I was like, wow, I wonder why it's going to take that long to start shipping. And then I go look at another thing, and it's also April 21st. So I feel like my stuff is falling under must be the non-essential thing? Or
sorry, Nikki.
What are we doing here?
This computer monitor will ship.
Is it shipping now?
Yeah, that'll ship now.
Maybe that's more important.
Well,
for people working at home, it makes sense.
Maybe they did qualify that. Let's think of what's something else that would seem non-essential.
I don't know. Everything I want to buy.
I'm going to put Doom Eternal in.
Doom Eternal. No, that's video game money in there. They're, of course, going to be shipping that.
It's a brand new video game. Oh, no. This says free delivery April 15th through the 23rd.
That's what they're doing.
Usually ships in 3 to 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That is...
Okay, so it's not just my hair serum.
Man, is that... Okay, what's the deal on that? Is that because...
I think it's going to fall under the non-essential category.
Well, what I think is they might be out of stock on that. It depends.
That's what they're saying.
Well, you know what? Like if you play it on the PC, it says that it'll be there on Saturday. If you play it on the Xbox or the PlayStation, it ships in 1 to 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe GameStop is essential, Nikki.
I don't know.
Maybe they are essential personnel.
Don't they understand that, when you're at a stay-at-home, this is not essential. I should not be going to the store for this.
I ordered Doom, and it was supposed to be there on Friday.
Oh, it didn't come?
No, did not. Supposed to get it today or tomorrow. And then I'm probably one of the last people in the world to get a video game delivered from Amazon. They're just like, that's it, no more.
You guys don't get to have it. In case you're, still trying to buy a lot, because everybody's buying everything online now. In case you're seeing the April number and the dates, that's probably why.
Yeah. So there you go. Wow. But seriously, though, that I've done that where I'm just like, oh, who cares? We'll just get it on Amazon. Just have Amazon ship it. And the idea that Amazon can't ship it, you're like, wait.
A month is weird.
Wait.
Everybody hang on.
What is going on? What do you mean Amazon can't? Society is falling apart.
I only have a little left. I can't wait till April 21st.
My hair needs this serum, okay?
Don't you understand? I didn't know this was a thing.
We're not talking about shampoo. We're not talking about conditioner. I'm talking about serum.
I don't know. It's all right.
It's a power up for my hair.
Now I'm going to keep looking. Like that one day I couldn't find toilet paper anywhere. I'm just going to keep looking to see where I can find this.
Tell them the truth.
Well, I had to go to Lowe's that day.
No, you didn't.
Eric went to Lowe's.
Okay,
I was at work.
No. I just want to be clear that every time something doesn't work out, Eric's the one that bears the brunt of that.
Well, he is my hero.
I'll send out my people. Eric, hello.
Can you find me my hair serum?
I'm low on serum. Then we find out Eric's starting to stockpile things so he doesn't have to go out anymore. He's like, no, here, have some serum.
Worst of the Riot. RadioU.
Listen, I'm sorry that we have to have this discussion again, but you guys have got to stop flushing the wipes, okay?
Well, everybody for a while there, you either maybe ran out of toilet paper or you were using other things that you're not supposed to use as toilet paper.
Yeah,
you're not supposed to use paper towels. You're not supposed to use Kleenex. I thought we knew about this one.
Well, you know what? I just feel like, again, this is another example of society just being upended, okay? You, up until recently, believed that Amazon was basically a genie that took 1 to 2 days to get you something. So you're like, genie, I want
toilet paper.
Serum. And the genie just brought it to you. Mm-hmm. Or one of the genie's servants in the blue or brown trucks. Okay, and that's the way it works. Many of you think that your toilet is this gateway to oblivion. So whatever you put in it, it just disappears into a black hole on the other side of the galaxy.
It doesn't cause any problems.
And it's no big deal. And what you're starting to learn is that when you flush, it goes to a place, a real place, and that's more than you can handle.
Well, this is especially coming out of California. They're saying facilities, like sewage facilities, are reporting issues with their sewer collection systems. And they're saying that the biggest problem right now is people that are flushing wipes. So like the cleaning wipes that you have, the disinfectant ones.
So like the Clorox wipes.
What are they doing? Are they doing maybe they're cleaning their toilet
the
and throwing
and
in
throw it in?
Because we're not using that as toilet paper, are we? Or
that's abrasive.
I hope not.
That would be bad for you.
I really hope not.
Unless you're desperate, I guess.
No, I think that should never come to that. It's a cleaning product.
You know what, Nikki? Don't judge people till you've walked a mile in their shoes. You know what I'm saying?
They do actually think it's really people who are wiping down their toilets and their bathrooms more often, and then instead of throwing it away, they're just flushing it, which you're not supposed to do.
Nikki, you know what? You want fatbergs? This is how you get fatbergs.
That is when in the sewer systems, the stuff collects and becomes like these icebergs of fat and toilet paper and waste and disgusting things underneath where you're living, and you just don't know that it's doing that.
You don't know it's there. And pretty soon, fatberg is on the case.
Well, in California, most places use a centralized sewage collection system. So what they do is they rely on gravity and water to move the flow on its own.
And that's how your toilet works.
That's how it's supposed to be. Toilet paper will dissolve, but these wipes and paper towels don't actually break down, so nothing's able to flow.
Way to go, guys.
You're ruining everything. They're saying
what?
paper towels are also the other big issue.
Okay,
that is from using it instead of toilet paper.
Think about a paper towel. What's its job? It absorbs. It literally, you put something on it and it sucks it up and it gets bigger, right? Toilet paper's job is to break apart. So you're putting this thing that's meant to absorb water and get bigger down into the hole. And again, I don't want to steal your illusions, but when you flush, it does not go to a magic space-time warp where it takes it into a black hole.
For some people, if it wasn't like paper towels that you were using, a lot of people started buying flushable wipes, which really aren't actually flushable.
They're really not.
They're pretty much the same thing as the disinfecting wipes. They cause the same problems.
And, I did some reading, and they say that for many people, those flushable wipes, it's not good for your skin.
Oh, it's not?
Yeah.
Okay.
I read about it because it's really funny, but I read an article about because I saw all these band guys for a while that were advocating the I can't remember the brand, but there were these wipes where they're like, man, you can clean up with them.
Instead of showering.
It's a shower thing, or, you can use them for something else.
And that's not actually the case. So just be aware, you're not supposed to flush those.
Stop flushing.
And now that everybody's at home for a lot longer times and there's a lot more people in your home, your thing might be taxed more than normal.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
I said we were going to talk about this, and then I totally dropped the ball on it. And that was a website that's going to help you with your toilet tissue needs.
Well, whatever you need help with, this could do it.
So it's not so much that it's going to provide toilet paper for you, but it will tell you how much.
No, I meant no, it's not going to provide it.
Okay, it will tell you how much you have. So it's a toilet paper calculator. It's howmuchtoiletpaper.com.
So it's kind of taking a look at how many rolls you have, and then how much would that equal until you ran out.
Right. So they say toilet visits per day is something you have to calculate. Now, keep in mind, that's going to be for each person in your house. So you're going to have to do that. And then you take a look at the rolls that you currently have. And so right now, I have these are their random values. 10 rolls of toilet paper, 3 toilet visits per day. 53 days is how long they say it's going to last.
So how much are you supposed to use then? Like how many squares?
Well, it doesn't actually say.
Don't you think that's important for us to learn?
Well, my guess is they're working off some kind of an average. Okay, here we go. Advanced options if you want them. Wipes per trip, sheets per wipe, sheets on roll, people in household, days of quarantine.
How deep do we want to go with this to figure it out?
How deep do you want to go?
Or is it just better to have more than enough, which is why everybody hoarded it in the first place?
Yeah, maybe. And I do think there is a discussion to be had in regards to, how many sheets per wipe. There's a discussion there. They're saying 2. That's ridiculous. That's
the SPW, and I don't think we'll ever forget it after this. We'll never never go back to just being like, yeah, just use everything you want.
People are talking about the Dow and the S&P. Well, what about the SWP?
That's really impacting people.
That's a true indicator of wealth.
And how things are going.
If you change your sheets per wipe from 2 to 4, you got 27 days.
27 days?
But that's enough. Like, if you live in Ohio, I don't know when California lifts their stay-at-home thing, but in Ohio, it's supposed to go to April 6th. And for the record, you're still allowed to go to the store.
You can go, but there's still a shortage in a lot of places.
Yeah, I mean, but
I read an article from the toilet paper people, and they said they've never seen anything like it. Like, it's hard for them to recover because they just don't have it.
You know what's going to happen is, like, toilet paper's way up, but it's going to go back down. Because
it'll switch with gas prices because gas is way down now, and it'll switch itself.
It's totally going to. So, you know,
I promised myself. Remember that one morning we didn't have any, and we were actually running out. I said to myself, I will always have an extra thing of toilet paper, just one. But we're always going to have one extra one just sitting around because we will never be put in that position again.
Here's what I love. That idea of, like, you know, how are you different now?
Like, what changed?
What changed for you when you did this? And Nikki's response is, I will never not have enough toilet paper again.
Well, I always kept, like, bottled water, and, you know, you have a few extra little snacks or something.
You know what? I'll
but
tell you what this is.
Never did that with toilet paper.
Did you know my friend's great-grandma, she lived through the Depression. I mean, she was little, but, like, if you went to her house, if you went out to her garage, she had, like, 5 of everything.
Oh, because she was always afraid.
Yeah, so it was like, okay, if you, like, I don't know, let's say you needed hand lotion. She would send you out to the garage, and it wasn't like there was one hand lotion, there was 5. And it was, like, stacked 5 deep. And so you would grab one, and there was always, like, a stockpile of stuff.
That's it. That's what I'm going to become. But only with toilet paper.
Man, you know that guy that's on late at night? I'm getting his macaroni and cheese tubs. Because he's like...
Those are out, too. Those were gone at Costco. You have to buy the...
A year of food. And so, like, I make my macaroni and cheese, and the spoon that you use to stir it is also a shovel.
Yeah, it's basically the big buckets. The buckets full of it, like, for the end of the world. Those don't look too stupid now, do they? Because I don't have mac and cheese, and maybe you do.
All of a sudden, you're like, I want mac and cheese. And powdered milk.
But we can't use the toilet paper. Don't use it.
You might be thinking that this won't be quite as bad the second time around. Well, you'd be greatly mistaken. You're listening to the worst of the Riot podcast.
Boy, I could use a carb right now.
Hey, it's been no joke. People are stress eating. We're eating things that we said we weren't going to, and we're eating a lot of it.
Do you know what I've been doing? This is pathetic, but I keep eating out, and I'm like, well, they're going to close the restaurants eventually.
Is that your justification?
I might as well go and eat out. I ordered a pizza last night. That was my justification.
I've been justifying by saying, well, we should support them, so we should go and eat out and pick it up.
I am guilty of this. Me and one of my roommates split a... Panda Express has a thing between now, I think it's nationwide, between now and sometime in April, where you can get a 3-entree family meal for $20. And I was like, that was 2 family-sized things of rice and 3 family-sized entrees. And I was like, man, we'd be eating for days on
We'll eat that. We'll do that.
I mean, that's some grocery shopping right there.
Well, they're saying that if you currently at a stay-at-home or self-isolation sort of thing, it's okay if you're feeling frustrated because you feel like you're eating way more than you used to and you're going towards like carbs and ice cream, that sort of thing.
Oh, that sounds good.
Doesn't it?
Tell me
Bread
more.
with ice cream?
Tell me more.
Just put it all. They say that that's absolutely 100% something that would affect you if you are not on your normal schedule. So don't panic. But there's a way to help it.
And that is?
You have to go back to it being on a schedule. So basically, if you want to know like what it really is, we're getting stressed. And you're like, no, I'm at home. It's not too bad. Your body's way more stressed than you think it is. So when you're stressed, you're not on your same schedule. You might be sleeping more than you normally do.
That can also be stress.
That actually still stresses your body because your body's like, why are we doing this? You had a body schedule and you got off of it. So even if you're sleeping more or if you're sleeping less, you need your sleep to reset your body for its cortisone levels and its just don't freak out levels and stuff. And you're not doing that. So you have to go back to being on a schedule, even if you're staying at home.
Yeah. I mean, I know it sounds super lame, but it's real. And just some real talk. Like, what is it? Usually around Christmas, Nikki and I will take somewhere between a week and a half to 2 weeks off. We do it basically every year. And I have noticed, you guys know that I deal with depression, especially in the winter. And when I'm on that break that we take, I have to maintain a schedule, which it's actually frustrating because I don't want to.
You see everybody else have fun and not.
Right. Yeah. It's like I want to stay up late. I want to sleep late, whatever. But I have found that will it will absolutely send me so much faster into a depressed state or a depressed episode if I don't make myself maintain a schedule. So I don't keep the same schedule I do for my work schedule, but like instead of being up at 4 a.m., I have to be up at 8 a.m.
We have to do something.
Yeah. And it's like instead of going to bed by 9 o'clock, I have to be in bed by midnight, but I keep a schedule, and that schedule includes exercise and a few other things.
If not, you're going to eat nothing but pizza and your body's going to crave it. So you won't feel happy until you get it. So here's some of the research that they say. Keep a sleep schedule. So go to sleep at the same time, get up at the same time.
Yeah.
Get out of the house for at least 15 to 30 minutes a day. You're like, but I can't. You can go walk around. You can walk. You're absolutely allowed
Even
to do that.
Even in the rain, take an umbrella.
They're saying that will help you set your circadian rhythm or your body clock. You're supposed to exercise. Don't have any caffeine after 3 o'clock. Have a bedtime ritual. And then when you go to bed, it's got to be dark and cold.
Nikki.
Yeah.
What are you not supposed to do once you get to your bedtime time?
You're not supposed to use any screens. You're supposed to keep it cold and quiet.
I'm talking to you.
I know. It's fine. That's why I've been eating ice cream like every day.
They're talking to you.
Driving me crazy. So you're supposed to relax and don't beat yourself up if you suddenly have had these huge cravings for all these things you thought you were over. It's come back.
You're stress eating.
Yeah, that's really 100% what it is. And your body is more stressed than you realize.
Yes. That is legit. I mean, because in a lot of ways with stress, it is kind of like the old thing with you put the frog in the water and the temperature slowly goes up. Stress a lot of times is like that. Your stress begins to build and you don't realize that why are my shoulders so tense all the time? You don't even know they are until you try to relax them. And then you're like, whoa.
Well, then you're like, the only thing that'll relax them is the ice cream.
Nikki, you're not helping.
What? What?
Don't say that.
No, just a little with the pizza.
I actually do like to have pizza, and then about an hour later, you chase it with ice cream.
Well, it settles your stomach.
It does.
The Riot. Just because it's bad doesn't mean it's not good. Wait, isn't that exactly what it means? It's The Riot on RadioU.
So I'm texting with someone whose name I will keep to myself, but they work at Walmart, and they say that going to work has just really sucked.
Oh, yeah, they were saying how everybody's screaming at them.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be doing that.
We really shouldn't. I know, Nikki and I were talking.
Virus aside, we should never be doing that.
Well, we were talking about stress, and I know that sometimes when we get really stressed, we don't have hold on ourselves. Our reactions get to be too much. And sometimes we find somebody that is the receptacle for that. Like you express your stress at somebody. So think about this for just a minute. Like you've got all this stress. You have to do something with it. You have to find an outlet for it. Because if you don't find an outlet for it, eventually something happens and you unfairly dump it on someone else. So what do we do about it? Well, we find good outlets for our stress. Exercise is one of them. Nobody wants to hear it, but it's a thing. So that's one particular option. Another thing you could do is you should really take some time and talk to God about what's going on in your circumstances. Because what I find a lot of times is I'll be really worked up about something and I'll think it's because the coffee's not very good. And then if I would take some time and get quiet, it would be like, oh, it's because I'm afraid of blank, blank, and blank. And so I've got myself all worked up about that almost subconsciously, but like I'm taking it out on other things. And that's unfair to the other things in my life and in your life if you're doing the same thing. Listen, in a relationship with Jesus, he invites us. Here's one of the things I love is like he invites us to get quiet and just sit with him. and we can pray. We can talk to God about what's going on. And one of the things that I have found is that God will often show me what's going on. I think I'm going to God and I'm going to tell him how to fix it. And then after a few minutes with Jesus, I'm like, oh, that's not even what the problem was. This is the problem actually over here. Wow.
But it can calm me down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can give you a totally different take on life in general. So here's my recommendation. Whether you're doing the yelling or somebody's doing the yelling at you, you're in a rough spot. Both of us are. And so I would just encourage you today, not just once, but a few times through the day, take some time out and check in with God and just say, Jesus, here's where I'm at. How am I doing? Here's what's bothering me. Here's what I need help with. And I promise you, some time with God throughout the day will be a release valve for you. It will help, whether the stress is yours or it's other people in your face because they only like Del Monte. And this is great value, and that's not good enough. So I get it. If you don't have a relationship with God, why not start now? Just say, Jesus, I want that. I want you in my life. I want you to fill me with your spirit. God, I am just tapped out, and I need some help today. And whatever it is that is pushing you hard, talk to God about it and ask him for some help.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
I love some of the stuff that keeps coming out where they're like, all right, stay home. Don't do anything. Don't go outside. Don't whatever. And now this. This is only in the UK. So if you're thinking to yourself, what? But listen, it's only a matter of time before they try to bring their ugly whatever to this great nation. What they're saying is this, like, hey, could you guys please not play online video games during the day?
What do they think we're going to do?
I don't know.
First, they had the EU stuff with, can Netflix, do standard definition instead of high definition for streaming?
And they're doing it.
And they're doing that.
They're not doing standard definition, but they're reducing their streaming quality.
Because of the overload with it.
Right. So Netflix, Disney Plus, and
Amazon?
YouTube, I think, are all reducing their quality by about 25% to help with the workload on the network.
So now you add games to it, too.
The UK is saying, hey, just for the next few weeks,
right?
Just don't play until night. Wait until nighttime to play.
No, but then that's worse. Everybody then bogs it up at nighttime.
Well, they say it doesn't matter. Here's the argument. They say that, look, we've got so many people working from home during the day that they're
more important.
Well, they're working.
Is that what they're saying?
That's what they're saying.
Okay.
That they need to get work done. And your kids with your 40 night, it can wait. All right. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Why don't you do a real dance? That doesn't take any bandwidth.
Well, I know at least here, some schools and stuff haven't really started their actual workload.
Yeah,
until
a lot of people
this
start
week.
Today.
Yeah, this is the first time. So at least in our area, I don't think we've even seen the start of the taxing of it. It's going to just get worse.
Well, I can tell you, I helped a church stream yesterday, and it was hilarious because was it like Sunday at 10 a.m.? Everything was fine. And Sunday at 10 a.m., I believe the entire country, the entire east part of the country, logged in and tried to stream. And it was just like, boom, boom. Nobody gets to stream anymore.
But, despite all that, we're not saying don't try. You can still try to play your game.
They're saying it.
We're not saying it.
Well, that's rough because, my thought was I want to play the Division 2. I bought that DLC. I haven't played it yet. That's an online game.
You're an American.
That's
you
right.
Play it if you want.
I'm American.
You're not.
Do what I want.
Do what you want.
The founding fathers left the UK so I can have all the internet I want.
While you're staying at home, do what you want.
Staying at home. That's right.
Because we're still being smart.
87 years ago, all men are created equal. Bandwidth for all.
I will play my game.
I love this country.
Just pry that controller out of my hand.
My cold,
just try it.
Dead hand. I would go protest, but I'm social distancing, and I'm staying inside. But I'm protesting by playing games. This is my kind of protest.
Seems about right, doesn't it?
Oh, it feels good, Nikki.
Oh, it feels good to be mad at what they're saying for us to do on this case. Again, on the other side of stuff, stay at home and be safe.
Right, but the UK is like, could you please not play video games during the day?
Talk about making it the worst. The worst next level.
Man, I feel like
what are we supposed to do then?
I'll tell you exactly what's coming next. Is like, could you guys please not flush during the following hours?
Actually, yeah, they'll probably say that.
Trust me when I tell you, nothing will make you need to go to the bathroom more than being told you can't.
I got rid of all my books. I got rid of all my physical games and movies. Like, I got to stream everything.
Not me.
You still have it.
I've been training for this moment.
This is a good point for you.
I've got my books and movies.
Well, everybody else just...
Everybody made fun of me when I was trying to give them away. Like, here, you could take this. They're like, no. And now, when the streaming's gone...
What's going to happen?
That's right.
They're all going to want the Blu-rays then at that point.
That's right. People will be knocking on my door, and I'll be like, I'm sorry. No room at the inn. Get out! But I digress.
Mm-hmm.
This was the worst of the riots, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.
You know, Nikki, as a gamer, I got to have all the energy I can get to sit here.